Right, Ron on platform. Come on, everyone. Welcome to it's a brand new weight loss week. We're in the new office, the first full week in the new office. As always, sorry if it is a little bit echoey. I am on my mission this week to add some maybe soft furnishings, as it were, which should hopefully stop a few things reverberating. Big word for a Monday morning. Basically to stop a few things, my voice bouncing off the walls, as it were. But anyway, until I get that sorted out, you're just gonna have to put up with a little bit of echo. It might sound a little bit hollow, but we will get there. We will get there in the end. Anyway, hope you've all had a good weekend. It is Monday. It is a new weight loss week. What have I been up to? Not a lot, really. Had a really nice, chilled, quiet weekend. Really nice, very chilled weekend. It's been good. It's been good. Right, so we're doing top 5 this morning. Let's see let's see who's in, what's going on. Let me scan down for the top 5 this morning. As always, guys, this is a weight loss life. If you've got any issues, you might be new month, January hasn't gone quite to plan. Any weight loss questions, anything you're struggling with, that is what I'm here for. Get your questions in. I'll do my very best to answer them. Anyway, Steph GC is in at number 1. Michael is in at number 2. Stefan's in at number 3. Kelly's in at number 4. And Claire is in at number 5. Good morning, guys. Thank you very much. We'll just do the top 5 on TikTok. Don't you guys on YouTube or Facebook feel like that? We'll just do the top 5 on TikTok. But thank you very much for jumping straight on the live. Beck's coming on YouTube. Good morning to you, Beck. Carol, good morning. Karen G, good morning. Good morning. Dodgy's in, morning, mate. John Jackson's in. Good morning, my man. Let's see who else is in. Faye, Lise, Julie, Karen, morning. Donna, morning. Sheila, morning. Karen H, good morning. Kirsty's Journey to Health. Hey, bro. Good morning, my man. Amy, good morning. Bank holiday today, so no work. We love that. Why do we get those in the UK? Where's our bank holiday for the first Monday of February? Yeah, could definitely handle one of those. Anyway, enjoy your bank holiday. We've not got our first bank holiday. I think it's like the 18th of April. It's late Easter this year. Jam, good morning. Who else is? Let's have a look. Maureen's in. Good morning. Please can you review Mighty Slice? Oh, hang on. Please can you review Mighty Slice protein cheesecakes from Sainsbury's? There's 3. They messaged me about 2 months ago saying, we like your content. Can we send you some cheesecake? Yes, you can. Absolutely can. Nothing. Not heard anything from them. So I will. You've just reminded me there, Emily. I'm going to message them today. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mind going and paying for stuff, but if I can get it for free, I'll get it for free. And that doesn't cloud my judgment. If I've had loads of stuff sent for free, and I have literally said it's not very good, right? I will. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a hard man to please when it comes to food. I am not a hard man to please at all. But I do get quite a few freebies sort of sent. But yeah, anyway, yes, I will do. I'm going to do. I've not done one. I only did one for the first couple of weeks of January. So I'm going to do another weekly weight loss shop kind of vlog. It went down quite well on the old YouTube channel. So I'm going to do one tomorrow, and I'm going to do Asda. So I'm going to have a mooch around Asda. And do you know what? I've kind of thought with these weekly weight loss vlog shops that I've been doing. I'm like, well, what if you don't need loads of shopping? But I don't even need to buy stuff if I go into the supermarket. I can just have a mooch around. Every time you go in, you see something new, something I'm like, oh, that looks good. And I might grab it and review it, or I might recommend it for you guys, or I might just see products that I like that I've not had for a bit, and it might just be like, oh, I need to go get. I don't get my hair cut every 2 weeks. I have not had it cut since the first week of January. So that is on my mission this week. I need to go get a mop chop. Ryan's in, morning, boss. What's your opinion on Prep Kitchen? Never had it. Never used it. No opinions whatsoever. What is Prep Kitchen? Is it a meal prep service? Don't get me wrong. What's my opinions on meal prep services? I think they're good. This is why I show people, in the reality of life, sometimes we need a bit of convenience. Now, don't get me wrong, there are people out there that are absolute robots that dedicate their life to weight loss or fitness. I used to be like that. I'll be honest with you, I did. Me and Rachel were talking about this yesterday. I used to be so regimented with my journey. Honestly, I used to be just absolutely on it. I was spending 2-3 hours on a Sunday afternoon meal prepping. I was just, no, I'm just having this, I'm just having that. I'd have one treat meal a week. And do you know what? The reality of life is, it's not the reality of life. That there's not many people that can do that. And I was I wouldn't say I was overly restrictive, but I was so militant with things. Yeah, to keep that up for years and years and years, you might be able to do it for a year, you might be able to do it for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I did it. I was really, really militant, probably for about 4 or 5 years, up until 2018. And when I started to slip, and this might sound daft, right? When I started to slip being so militant was when I actually became a personal trainer. And you might be like, well, it should be that should be the opposite, shouldn't it? And I'll tell you what, and it wasn't, because when I was a personal trainer, I burnt that many calories on a weekly basis from being a PT, doing fitness classes, doing PT sessions, running around the gym. Yeah, I was averaging 16,000 steps a day as a personal trainer. I was doing 30 to 40 personal training sessions every single week. And when you do a I used to burn about 100 calories an hour in a PT session on top of my metabolism. Now, and on top of my steps. And you might be like, well, that doesn't sound a lot. That's 3 to 4,000 calories a week, plus all the steps I was doing. And that's just from doing little bits of demonstrations. When I'm showing someone, when I say to a client, right, we're going to do shoulder presses now. And I'd sit it down, and I'd either, if they'd been with me a while, I'd just pass them the weights. They knew how to do it, and I'd correct it. But my clients never went and got their own weights. They never went and got their own benches or anything like that. I'd sit them down and I'd go and get the weights, or I'd go and do it, and then I'd demonstrate it for them, because I just wanted to put all their energy into their exercise, as it were. But when I was a PT, I burnt that many calories. I didn't need to. It gave me loads more freedom with my eating. I couldn't eat enough. I ate ridiculous amounts of food and still lost a couple of stone in a year. Right? What it also made me realise was, to be that militant is flipping hard. And I knew it wasn't sustainable. So now I've had to work over the last 2-3 years to find the balance, where, yeah, I'm on it, but I'm not quite as militant. And the reality of life is, some people don't have time to spend hours meal prepping. It's like yesterday, I was knackered. And 4, 5 years, 6 years ago, even though I was tired and I'd not stopped, and I just had really busy week, and I had a busy morning yesterday. I literally took the dogs to the beach for an hour. I was up quite early, took the dogs to the beach for an hour. I hadn't done any protein boxes. I loaded my hands up to yesterday. So I built 36 protein boxes in one hit. And then I had to do a few other bits and pieces, get the dogs ready. I had some other we had loads of stuff around the house from doing the gym and stuff. So I loaded the car up, so I'm going to nip to the tip today. And honestly, it got to 2 o'clock this afternoon, and I was knackered. I didn't even, I said to Rachel, I'm not even making tea. Now, 6 years ago, I'd have pushed through it, right? And I'd have been like, right, no, I'm going to do my meal preps now. That'll be another 2 hours, and then my weekend. And then I'm knackered today. And you end up kind of resenting things a little bit. And that's how it'd be. And then it'd calm down, and then it'd be right. But I was still like, so no, you've got to do this for your weight loss journey. Anyway, I found a bit more balance. And also, I've then found that, I used to work, when I first started my weight loss journey, I worked in a job where it was, I don't know how to describe it. Some weeks I'd do 60 hours in that job. Some weeks I'd only need to do 15, 20 hours. And I was my own boss, right? I didn't really, I run the company. I didn't own the company. I run the company. I was classed as a director there. And, some weeks I was very lucky. I'll be honest with you. I was very, very lucky, where I'd just go in for a couple of hours a day and disappear. I go in, make sure everyone's all right, make sure everyone's in work, if I had any meetings, I'd do my meetings. And I go home, and that gave me loads of free time to plan my food, to do my meal prep, to, go to the gym, to get my steps in. Some weeks I'd be doing 50, 60 hours. It'd be manic, especially at the end of the month because I was doing company accounts. I was doing the wages, sorting out tax. So, and those weeks, it was hard work because I'd still put my militant regime in alongside doing 50. And now if I did 50 hours a week work, 5, 6 days a week in, week out, I couldn't have been that militant. That's what I do now. Yes, I now I run my own business, and I spend 10, 15 hours a week doing lives. I spend 10, 15 hours a week recording content that's a full just doing lives, and that then I've got all my clients that I do, writing plans, doing everything else. I do 50 hours a week work now, 60 hours a week, and I don't have that flexibility and freedom anymore to dedicate hours here, hours there. I need some free time to chill my beans a little bit, So things like meal prep companies are fantastic, but what is a meal prep company? They'll give you the calories. If you track your macros, they'll give you all the breakdowns of your macros. They'll cook everything from scratch for you. It'll generally last a few days, so you'll have to put it in the freezer and like. It'll all be clean eating and this, that, and the other, and it won't have preservatives in it, and it won't have additives in it, and this, that, and the other, right? And that can be very important to people, and if it is important to you, they're a great option. What's the issue with meal prep companies? They are very expensive. My mate runs a health food place, and it's fantastic. The food's excellent, really, really good. And we go there. In fact, we're going to go this week because I need to nip to a couple of places near there. So we're going to go for lunch this week, but we'll go in for lunch and it's 20 quid, and that's just for like a couple of burritos. Rachel will probably get a halloumi burrito. I'll get a chicken burrito. And it's £20, for a couple of burritos. That ain't cheap. And they'll meal prep your burritos or meal prep foods. And they do something like, I think if you buy in bulk, it's a bit cheaper, but they'll do like 5 meals. So you got your lunch every day and it's £30. £6 a meal. Now, that ain't cheap, right? But you don't have to spend that on meal prep to get calorie controlled with all your macros broken down. You can buy a ready meal, right? You can. And yes, some of them have some extra preservatives and extra additives in. The one thing we need to understand about additives and preservatives is they're only trace elements in food. Someone was talking yesterday I posted the Tesco blueberry pancakes. Very, very good, by the way. I have reviewed them for this week's worth of calories, so I won't tell you anymore, but they were. Anyway, so I posted all the junk and all this, that, and the other. So literally, how an ingredient works on a ingredients label is the highest item that's in that product will be at the beginning. The lowest item will be at the end. So if you buy something like a chicken sausage from the Ashfields chicken sausage from Aldi is 80% chicken, right? And chicken will be the first ingredient. If you look at I've got a soft drink here, but if you pick up a can of Coke Zero, the first ingredient is water, because that's the main ingredient. And then whatever is the last ingredient is the last ingredient. Now, on those blueberry pancakes from Tesco, it literally lists these ingredients, and it's wheat flour, it's pea protein, it's rapeseed oil, all the general things, sugar that are going to go into a pancake, because it's a pancake, right? If you were making pancakes at home, somebody might, well, no, I won't do it. No, you would put oil in your pancake because you're going to pan fry them, right? And don't get wrong, oil's down the list. There's only a bit in there because they're fairly low calorie, right? If you're going to make a pancake at home, yes, you might use a bit of banana as the batter. You're going to use oats. You're going to use whatever else. They use wheat. There's nothing wheat flour. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Unless you're a celiac, right? All this and the other. And then it literally says, after about 4, 5, 6 ingredients in, blueberries, 3%, right? So 3%, they're blueberry pancakes, 3% of that pancake is made up of blueberry. After that is all the additives and preservatives in there. Now, a lot of additives and preservatives, they're just there to make their products last a little bit longer. They're generally derived from natural things. So like you get cellulose gum, that's a stabilizer, that's just an extract from plants, it's just non-soluble fibre. It's just fibre, but it won't dissolve into your body. It'll just go straight. It's not like fibre that your body will take in and use. It's fibre that will just go straight through your digestive tract and come out the other side, right? And so all the preservatives and additives that make them last for a week or two rather than 2 days. Additives that, again, might make them stay together, stop them perishing when they're on the shelf or whatever in transit, make up less than 3% of that. All of them make up less than 3% of that product. So let's say you're going to eat 100 grams of those pancakes. All the additives in there and everything add up to less than 2 grams, 3 grams, like all of them added together. So there's like 0.4 of a gram of this, 0.2 of a gram of that. And in context of quantity of what we're consuming, won't cause you any issues. Won't cause you any issues whatsoever. A lot of people are very scared of different things. You're only scared of something if you have a lack of understanding behind it. Yeah. But anyway, meal prep. If you can afford a meal prep company, fantastic. You obviously, I don't think there's any kind of big conglomerate meal prep. There might be, I don't know. I'm not really something that I'm up on, but if you can afford meal preps, look for a local company, support a local business. And I know costs might come into a factor. And if you can't afford meal preps, don't be scared to have the ready meal here and there to help you on your journey. Yeah. Let me scan. Let me scan down and see. I know I've been waffling. I don't mind waffling for the first 10, 15 minutes of the live because then I get a few more comments coming in that I can read through. Right, let me. Oh, hang on. There's been loads of comments. I'm way behind. Hang on. Let me. The last comment I read. By the way, I'm going to do a collective good morning. Any of you guys, if you come on and say good morning, I've not said good morning to you. Please please don't be offended. A collective good morning to you. Anyway, where are we at? Where's that guy that asked about meal preps? Oh, that's it. What's your opinion on meal prep picture? Right, let's scan up. And we did cheesecake. Right, let me scan up. See, oh, you get 10 bank holidays a year. That's amazing. How many do we get? 7. We get 7, do we? Easter, 2 at May, 2 at Easter, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. We get 8. We get 8 a year. Oh, so we're not too far behind. We get 8 a year. Do we get 8 or 8? I suppose, yeah, New Year's Day, Good Friday, Easter Monday, 2 in May, August, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. Yeah, we get 8. We get 8 bank holidays. That's all right. We're not too far behind. I wouldn't mind the extra one in February, though. That'd be nice. We've just been chatting about this in the WhatsApp group. Some fab advice this morning in there. Brilliant. We love it. We love the WhatsApp group. We love the community. If you want any extra support on your journey, if you want to mix with a load of like-minded people, all on the same journey as you, come join my community. It's £5 for your first month using code WELCOME. You'll get a full calorie breakdown from me. You get a guide to bossing your weight loss. We've got private WhatsApp community. We've got private Facebook group. We've got Zoom sessions. I need to talk about the Zooms this week, guys. We've got a few things swapping about this week. I will put a message, though, in the community as well. People let it take over their life at the start. They do. And this is where people go wrong. People do let weight loss. And don't get me wrong. Weight loss should not take over your life. It needs to be part of your life. Just like going to work needs to be part of your life. I'd love nothing more now than to be sat on my sofa playing my Xbox. It's double XP weekend on COD 6, on Black Ops 6, and I smashed it for a few hours yesterday. Absolutely love it. Right? But work is part of my life, and that needs to be part of my life. So weight loss should not take over your life. It should be part of your life. If you feel at the moment like weight loss is taking over your life, it will become unsustainable at some point in time. It will drag you down, right? It can be a very important part of your life. It's been a very important part of my life for a lot of years, nearly 11 years now. Oh my God. It is my 11-year anniversary today. I can never remember the exact date, right? But I started my weight loss journey on the first Monday of February 2014. So 11 years ago today was when I said to myself, right, this is it. We're getting at it. 11 years. So 11 years ago today, if I'd been sat in this position now, I'd have been 514 pounds. I'd have been over 500 pounds. For reference, depending on how you work, I was just under 37. I was 37 stone, just under 37 stone, 514 pounds. I was 234 kilos when I started my weight loss journey. And that was exactly 11 years ago. can't remember the exact date. I think it was the 3rd of February. I think it was because I remember I did Dry January in 2014, and I remember Dry January on the ending on the Friday, and I remember going out on the Saturday and having 2 pints, and I'd already made the decision that I was starting my journey on the Friday, and I ended up having like 2 or 3 pints. I think I had 3 pints. I think I did. I think I had 3 pints on the Saturday in the pub. 3 pints of Coors Light. And I remember after my 3rd pint, I'd driven to the pub. I was just going to leave my car outside and then get the bus home. And I remember after my 3rd pint, I remember saying to my mate Keith, who run the pub, I went, "Can I get a pint of Diet Coke?" And he literally looked at me and he went, "You want 4 vodkas in that, don't you?" Because that's what I would normally. And I was like, "No, just a pint of Diet Coke, please." And he was like, "What do you want?" I said, honestly, I said, "I've had 3 pints, I've done Dry Jan, it's hitting me like a ton of bricks. I just want to chill the beans a little bit." So I had a pint of Coke, right? And I sipped it for probably for about 45 minutes, to be honest with you. Finished it, and I went to Keith and said, "Can I get just one more of them?" And he went, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "One more of them, then I'll have another beer after that." And what it was I was like, I didn't want the beer. I didn't want it. I was focused on this journey. I was like, anyway, I had the other pint of Coke, and I made that last about an hour. And the pub got busy then, and I just slipped out. I just disappeared and I drove home. So before anyone goes, "Oh, you drunk a job?" No, I had 3 pints. I'd eaten before. I'm not trying to justify this, right? And then I waited I had a couple of pints of Coke over 2.5, 3 hours to let at least 1 or 2 of the pints disappear out of the system. Jumped in the car, drove home, went to bed, woke up on the Sunday, went to Tesco, did a big healthy shop, or what I thought was healthy at the time. And then on the Monday, started my journey. So it's technically kind of my anniversary today, you know. Right, let me scan down. Hang on. Oh God, I've absolutely again. I've missed me. There's loads of comments. Right, I'm back on track. Right, let me scan up. And see where I'm on day 10 of 75 hard today. It was worst day yet. I don't know. Do you know what? Look, I know a lot of people. I know you can do the 75 hard, and I know there's like the 75 soft now as well, something like that. If you're on a weight loss journey, if you've got a weight issue and you think doing something like the 75 hard is the answer to kickstarting, it isn't. Right? It isn't. It is hard for a reason. Now, if you're someone that wants to do the 75 hard because, yeah, you might have gained a few pounds over Christmas, but January, February is pretty chill and you just want to test yourself, I get it. I don't mind people doing little challenges like that. But if you're generally sat there, you're 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 stone overweight, you've tried, you're sat there going, "I've tried everything to sort out my weight loss journey. I'm going to try the 75 hard diet to I really don't like this terminology, to kickstart my journey." Because this is where was it Kim that just said there, people have this attitude, "I need to kickstart my journey," and they just go in too hard, too deep, right? And it becomes very unsustainable very, very quickly. And if you can't complete it, you'll feel like rubbish and you'll just end up back to square one. So you don't need to be doing. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're like me, 10 years into your weight loss journey, you're kind of roughly at goal. You're losing weight more for aesthetics or just to push yourself a little bit or to take a bit of pressure off your joints, or you've had a couple of weight loss phases and you've decided to go in a little bit more into a weight loss phase. If you're at that position, or you're someone that's generally fit and healthy, you don't have an issue with food, and you just want something to focus on for the first 2.5 months of 2025 to keep you away from booze, for whatever, to make you go for it, right? But don't be doing it on a weight loss journey. Yeah, certainly not the start of your weight loss journey. Don't be doing anything to get. Again, I hear people, "I'm going to eat 1,000 calories a day to kickstart my weight loss journey. I'm going to do a Manjaro to kickstart my weight loss journey." I get the reasons behind it. I get the reasons why you feel like that, because you kind of like, if I go on and do, if I lose a stone in the first month, it'll give me a bit of confidence. It will give me a boost. It'll be like, yeah. What it'll do is it'll just, you won't come off it. This is the issue. A lot of people are right, I'm going to do 1,000 calories a day. And you'll see the results you're getting from doing 1,000 calories a day. And you'll kind of get hooked on it a little bit, right? And then what a lot of people do is they'll do 1,000 calories a day for January or something like that, drop a ridiculous amount of weight, and then in February, right, now I'm going to eat 1,500 calories a day. As soon as you start eating more, you see a weight gain because you're increasing your food weight, your water weight, your water retention. Oh my God, I'm gaining weight at 1,000 calories a day, at 1,500. I need to drop. You just end up in a vicious circle. So don't be doing anything. If you want to kickstart your weight loss journey, you want to give your weight loss journey a boost, just start it in the most healthy and sustainable way you can and be consistent with it. Right? It's absolutely pointless dropping 2 stone January, February if you're going to gain it all back for the rest of the year. Right? And then this time next year, you're back to square one, or probably worse. Right? If you start a healthy, sustainable journey, even now, by Christmas, you could be 3 to 4, depending on how, where you're at with your journey, how much currently weigh, how much you're willing to move. We're only a month, 3-4 weeks in. You could be 4 stone back down by Christmas, right? And over the year, you've not punished yourself. You've enjoyed an Easter egg at Easter. You've enjoyed your birthday. You've enjoyed your kids' birthdays. You've enjoyed a week or 2 in Tenerife here and there, and you're still 4 stone down, right? You can go at it like a bullet a gate, right? You're 2 stone down by February, and I'm not saying by the end of February the trade-off hasn't kind of been what you're looking at. I'm 2 stone down. Yeah, I've starved myself. I've been tired. I've been lethargic. I've been miserable. But I'm 2 stone down, and I'm off. But that will just come back to bite you in the bum sooner rather than later. Joe's in morning, mate. Have you tried the My Protein Doner meat from Iceland? Game changer. Joe, I haven't. I'm gonna go and grab it today. I think I'm gonna go and grab it. It's going to get a lot of triggers on social media. I can't wait for the comments when I post it. But I'm going to go today and grab it. Hopefully we've got it in after the weekend. Yeah, I'm going to fly up to Food Warehouse. I'm going to finish this live. I'm going to record my weekly weight loss vlog. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go to the tip. Going to post off a lot of protein boxes. And then, I'm going to go up and grab it. Now, I have got the Grill House Doner meat from Iceland. So I'm going to compare it with that one because that is excellent. So I'm going to compare the macros, compare everything. The Grill House Doner meat from Iceland is just doner meat, right? So it's not really, I'm hoping the My Protein one's going to be a lot more calorie controlled. I'm hoping it's going to be a lot more calorie controlled. Anyway, I'm going to go grab it. And I'll try it this week. I'm thinking of, I've got one protein flatbread left. So I think I'm going to have my prawns today. That I posted the other day, my prawns with Thai green curry prawns from Aldi. I'm going to have that today. And then tomorrow, I'm going to hopefully go and grab that doner meat and review it. And review it today. There's fit meals here in Ireland, cheap AF and proper ingredients. Yeah, absolutely. Look, again, I think as these meal prep companies, especially with logistics nowadays, because you can order frozen stuff, and it can come frozen, can't it? Come delivered frozen. They put them in these bags, insulated bags, blocks of ice in there, and you get them delivered within 2. And it might cost you £6-7 delivery because DPD will do next day delivery or Yodel or whatever. A bit like how you have your Hello Fresh or your Gusto's delivered. And they're an option. They're a great option if you're struggling to stay on track, Right, let me scan up. Have you seen the new Aldi Guy Health Meal Preps, the Greek one? I have. I've reviewed it in my first, I think it might be episode 18. So if you guys go over to my YouTube channel, I would love you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I did put a little post on this week's newsletter just thanking everyone. I only get about 40 subscribers to YouTube a month. That's what I've been building on over the years. I've been putting a lot of effort into my YouTube channel. In January, going into February, I've gained that. I think I had 1,470 at the beginning of January because I wanted, my little mission was to get to 1,500 subscribers on YouTube. It's very hard to build YouTube up. It's not very organic. So my mission was to get to 1,500 subscribers on YouTube by Christmas. And I had 1,470. Anyway, I gained 150 subscribers in January. And it's really hard to build YouTube up. So if you're a new follower to YouTube, if you're a current follower, thank you as always. But if you're a new follower, again, thank you. My Facebook page has just gone rad. I've got 10,000 new followers in a month. And yeah, don't get me wrong, you get a lot of negative comments on there. And I don't know if it's Facebook have changed the algorithm, because a lot of people are going, why do you follow this guy if you don't like what he posts? And a lot of people are like, I don't follow him, it just pops up on my news feed. Fair enough, you can just scroll past, you don't have to comment. But anyway, people do. They love to put the 2 pence with it. But yeah, Facebook's gone absolutely mental this month, and it's good because it is my biggest monetization platform. So it's everything helps, you know. But yeah, so on YouTube, I do a worth the calories video every week, and I pick random products. I try and pick products that are going to support your weight loss journey. But this week's worth the calories, it starts off with quite a lot of crisps and chocolate, to be honest with you. There's a few crisps and chocolate, because I do chuck treats in there, because that's my philosophy of adherence to a diet, is try and make most of your diet as healthy and nutritious as you can. And that can include some convenience foods, that's absolutely fine. But, you know, get some treats in there as well. But anyway, yeah, I think the first one after Christmas, it might be 18. I reviewed the Greek. I thought it was very good. And that is actually, it doesn't have any additives or preservatives in it, or it's very low on them anyway. I had a scan through the ingredients, couldn't see anything. Again, if that's important to you, right. If something's important to you, that's fine. But don't think you need to massively push you might be like, well, that's hypocritical, Neil, because you push your narrative. Yeah, but I was trying to have a very non-biased, very open-minded narrative. Okay. So again, a lot of people have a very unhealthy relationship with food. They have very much disordered eating. And it can, you know, they always use these things, you know, E-numbers, it makes my kids bounce off the walls and all that. They really don't. It was just kind of like a Chinese whisper. Right, and a lot of and you know, there's a lot of connotations. You know, it's an E number, so it's really bad for us. E number just stands for European number, and obviously there's a lot of products out there that have big names. And just because it has a big word or a big name doesn't mean it's necessarily bad for us. So you know, and there's a lot of there was one yesterday, I think it might have been on those protein pancakes, and it was literally like potassium sorbate sodium carb or something. It's bicarb soda, right? That is regularly used in a lot of baking issues, but they actually use like the full technical term of it, right? Now, a lot of these what they did they created these E-numbers, and they are stuff that's added into food, right? I'm not saying they're not. They are stuff that's added in extra, right, into things, and that can be to bind the food together. That can be, you know, things like, and there's a reason for that. You know, these emulsifiers, stabilizers, things like that, because we do buy with aesthetics. So you can make something like sometimes I'll make a smoothie protein shake. So I'll put a bit of, you know, water in there, some whey protein in there. I might put some oats in there, then I might put some fruits, I might put some pear and banana in there, and I'll blend it up. If you put that in a clear bottle, right, and put it in your fridge overnight, when you go to get that bottle out there, it's all separated, right? Each ingredient's forever, you know, something that's heavy like oats that soaks up water will float to the bottom, something that's light, something that tends to have a bit more sugar in it will tend to rise to the top against something else, and it's all separate, and it doesn't look very appealing. But you don't mind eating it because you know exactly what's in there, and you give it a good shake, right? And it's all mixed back up together, and you drink it. Unfortunately, with a lot of products, we don't have that clarity. So if we went to a supermarket and we saw loads of things all separated and all this, that, and the other, we wouldn't purchase them, right? So, a lot of companies put stabilizers and emulsifiers in. They're generally natural, but they are added into these products to make them look more aesthetically pleasing. Again, the trace elements, they don't cause us any issues whatsoever. Again, you know, additives. A lot of vitamins and minerals are added extra. Certainly to bread. If you see something that says it's fortified, it's got things like iron added into it. That's great for the human body, you know, really, really good for us. Preservatives again are added into, salt, natural preservative, and you'll see a lot of sodium, such and such, big long words. It's basically a variety of salt. Salt is a very cheap natural preservative, right? So sugar, actually, to be honest with you. But yeah, you'll get a lot of preservatives. Why do food companies put preservatives in? Because it makes stuff last longer on the shelf, and for the rights and wrongs of it, that is what allows us to eat. Right? You might like what you mean. It allows us to eat. So, like I said, those protein pancakes, they're £1.75 from Tesco. I'm not saying they're cheap. They're obviously quite a bit more expensive than if you just to go and buy normal buttermilk pancakes, right? But if those protein pancakes had no preservatives in, right, they'd go off in 2 days. So they wouldn't be £1.75 each. They'd be probably about £5 or £6 because there'd be a lot more food waste. Now, that's a lot worse for the environment, and it's also a lot worse for our pocket. Same with bread. If you go and bake your own bread, right, you might just use flour and yeast and a bit of water and some salt, right, and you'll bake your bread, but in a couple of days it's gone. We've got an artisan bakers in our next village, beautiful, right? The bread from there is delicious, right? And they do actually put some preservatives in their bread, but their bread will go off after 3 or 4 days that you might get out of their bread, whereas a loaf of Warburton's you'll get a week at a push, right? And a loaf of Warburton's is what, £1.50, £1.25. If it didn't have preservatives in, it'd be £5-6 bread. It'd be £5-6 a loaf. We couldn't afford to eat like that, right? Now you might be like, well, that's a good thing, Neil. That means everyone would then go and bake their own bread. It's not 1935 where one person went to work and someone just stayed at home baking all day and looking after the kids. In the reality of life, it's just not how it works anymore. And you've got to roll with the times. You've got to roll with the times a little bit. People don't want to roll with the times. So a lot of you guys then might be like, well, ultra-processed foods. I'm going to do a podcast on this, actually. We're like, yeah, but ultra-processed foods, they do this and they do that. Loads of overweight people because, why are people really unhealthy because of ultra-processed foods, right? Is it the fact that they have additives and preservatives in them? Or is it the fact that most ultra-processed foods are not very nutrient dense, right? So they don't give much nutrition to the body. They tend to be a lot higher in very cheap products like saturated fats, trans fats, sugar, right? And also, because they're not very nutrient dense, they don't have much fiber in them, they don't have much protein in them, they're not very filling. So people that permanently live off turkey Twizzlers, potato waffles, Rustler's burgers, Goodfellas pizzas, these are all ultra-processed foods, right? People that live off that sort of diet, live this beige diet, as we might call it, right? The nutrition, the stuff that fills them up is very low. They're eating food that's going to digest very, very quickly, and that is just going to make you hungry, right? So, that's the reason why most people that live off ultra-processed foods have a weight issue, because eating ultra-processed foods doesn't curb your appetite and you'll just eat more and more. It's dead simple. If you got I'll have for my dinner today, I'm going to have that. Now, I don't class it as an ultra-processed food. I class it as a processed food, right? So I'm getting prawns in Thai green curry from Aldi, right? They're in the freezer. I think you just nuke them in the microwave. Half a packet of white rice, again, microwave rice, 100 grams of tender stem broccoli. That is just fresh broccoli. There's nothing sinister about that. I'm also going to add a bit of extra chicken to it because I want to bump the protein up a little bit. Right, my meal today is going to be less than 500 calories. Right, it's going to have 40 odd grams of protein in it. It's going to have probably 7 or 8 grams of fibre in it, and I'll eat that, and then I won't need to eat again till tea because it's got a lot of goodness in it, decent amount of volume, and it's going to fill me up. And it does contain processed food, microwave white rice, and a Thai green curry prawn thing from the freezer section at Aldi. If I have for my dinner today, which a lot of people might just have, a bowl of tomato soup and 2 slices of bread. Low in protein, it's low in fibre, you're going to be hungry an hour and a half later. A lot of people today, for their lunch, might just go and grab a Rustler's burger and ping that. Low in protein, low in fibre, an hour and a half later, you're going to be starving. And, I'm not saying a tin of tomato soup's a bad lunch. In a way, you can make it a good lunch, but if you take those 2 slices of bread and whack a load of chicken in between them and add 30, 40 grams of protein to that tomato soup and a sandwich, you're fine, right? You're actually getting a pretty decent meal. You know, your Russell's burger might be 600-700 calories. You can go to McDonald's today and grab a double cheese. My lunch today is going to be the same calories as a double cheeseburger, except I'm going to eat a plate of food, a double cheeseburger, which again you probably class as an ultra processed food, is like that. If I ate a double cheeseburger at 12:30, 1 o'clock today, I would be starving at 2:30 this afternoon, 3 o'clock, right? And then I won't be able to control my appetite, and then I go in a bit deeper, right? So people having weight issues and health issues from ultra-processed food is nothing to do with preservatives and additives in the ultra-processed food. It's what nutrition it gives them and how it supports their eating habits. Does that kind of make sense? Broccoli isn't even 100% natural. What do you mean by that? Broccoli isn't even 100. Why isn't it 100% natural, Michael? Please enlighten us. Right, let me scan down. Preservatives are in every aspect of our life. Well, they are, to be honest with you. I saw a guy the other day. He literally picked water up in the supermarket. He picked up a bottle of mineral water like this. So this is just Aquavale still spring water, which I've just chucked on the floor. Luckily, it was an empty bottle, right? And in spring water, if you might, it might just say water on here. I can't even read it because it's quite dark in here. Does it not have any ingredients on it? It will do anyway somewhere. Anyway, oh yeah, it says here mineral elements. I can't even read it because it's so flipping dark. And I've not put my main light on. It might not look dark to you, but it's really dark. And I've got my ring light on, and I am so blind. Anyway, this water, this is just water, but it contains calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, a preservative. Sodium's a natural preservative in this natural still spring water. Now, a lot of people read this and go, this has got calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, bicarbonate. Oh, that's in those protein pancakes. Chloride, that's like chlorine. That's what you put in swimming pools, isn't it? Sulfate, sulfur. There's sulfur in this water. Nitrates. There's nitrates in bacon. The nitrates in bacon give you cancer. Aldi have added it to their cheap spring water. Oh my God. Why are we drinking natural spring water when it's got nitrates in it, salt in it, all these added elements? It's spring water. Spring water goes through springs. It goes through rocks. It goes through soil formations. When it goes through rocks have minerals in them. The human body needs all these things to function properly. It needs calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, chlorine. It needs all those things to function properly. This has had nothing added to it. Those are just the trace elements of minerals that is found in spring water, in mineral water. That's why it is called mineral water, because it's not been purified at a plant, well, it will have been obviously to take some of it, but any water has those things in it, right? This, even though it's in a posh Evian bottle, this is Council Pop. That's the water I generally drink. Why have I got a bottle of spring water? Because I'm in my office and I'm thirsty, and I've just bought a couple of packs of water to save me going in the house, disturbing the dogs and this, that, and other. I haven't got a tap in here, so. But you can make anything sound scary. You can make anything. And this guy literally, that's what he did. He went to the supermarket, picked up some spring water, and said, this water causes water retention in your body and is really unhealthy for you because they add salt to it. It's just. And then he said, and then he said something like, as if you want salt in your water. Because if you want salt in your water, why don't you just go and drink sea salt? And I'm like, a litre of sea salt has more salt than your recommended allowance in a day. It has got so much salt in it, it's untrue. This has got like 0.01 grams of salt in it, sodium in it. Yeah, it's a trace element. But anyway, I'll keep fighting the good fight. I'll keep trying to educate you. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to do podcast this week. I'm going to try and record 2 podcasts actually. I'm just a bit worried about being echoey because I'm in here, but I'm going to mic up. I want to do a podcast on Mounjaro. I want to do a podcast on ultra processed foods. And I've got a few podcasts on it. I've only done 1 podcast this year, so I want to get back into my podcasts and start getting them fired out. Anyway, I do enjoy recording my podcasts. Right, let's get down. It will be processed because it's in a packet. Well, everything we eat's been through. I said this the other day on a thing. That's processed. That I said everything we eat's processed. Right? If you have potatoes for your tea tonight, right? You know, how do you think they got in a plastic bag? Right? Now, don't get me wrong. There's different foods have different processes, and like I say, you've got minimally processed, you've got processed, and then you've got ultra processed. So your minimally processed food is your fruits and veggies. You know, they're harvested out the ground, they're taken somewhere, they're washed and this, that, and the other. They're then taken to another place and they're packaged into plastic, and that then goes or into bags of whatever. You know, and then they go to the supermarket. Then you chop them, then you boil them, then you add salt to them. That's all a process, all right? Again, a steak, you go to your local butchers. That steak didn't just, that cow didn't just trip up, bang its chin on thing, and suddenly 6 steaks fell out of it. No, a cow is, for rights or wrongs of it, not meaning to put anyone off the breakfast after eating it, but a cow is grown, or, grows up, right? And when it's ready, it's taken to an abattoir, it's then humanely killed, it's then butchered, right? That meat is then transferred to a supermarket. It might be transferred frozen, it might be transferred fresh. If you go to a local butcher's, they might butcher their own meat. My local butchers do own their own farm, and they do, from time to time, butcher their own cows and stuff like that. And that's the way, and that's all been through a process, Obviously, then we'll get processed food. So your tin chopped tomatoes, right? You got your tin chopped tomatoes. Anything that's in a tin is processed. Tin chopped tomatoes, tin potatoes, tin peas, baked beans, right? Very nutrient dense foods, but are all processed, And then you get your ultra processed foods, which for me, I class as your Rustler's burgers, your Alpha Bites, your potato waffles, your things like that. Certain frozen foods, fish fingers, I just class them as processed. I don't class them as an ultra processed food. You don't get loads of protein in them because they're like that big, right? You eat a lot of fish fingers, you will do, but then you also get a lot of breadcrumbs, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. Right, but I don't necessarily just like that prawn tiger in curry thing. I don't class that as an ultra processed food. If you eat something, whether it's fresh, frozen, whatever, and it's got a reasonable amount of nutrition in it for its calories, I don't really class it as an ultra processed food, irrelevant of any additives or preservatives that's been popped into it. But that's just my take on it. Other people have different views, and that's the thing. The views that I don't like are hypocritical views. Hate them. They wind me up a little bit. So, like I say, you'll see on it's different on like TikTok. People will comment, but you can have a look. But unless they post videos of it, you can't really get an inkling. One thing that Facebook will give you is the profile pictures. So people will comment, and they might have their profile 100% private. You can't really scan through. You can't really see what's going on. But you can see their last few profile pictures, and it's absolutely amazing the amount of people that whinge about all these foods and stuff like that, and they're having a few beers here and there. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a few beers here and there, but and again, some people might disagree with this because there's been lots of slogans like "a wine a day will keep the doctor away" to try and make us justify drinking alcohol. No, it won't. Are there certain alcoholic drinks out there that might provide a smidge of nutrition? Are there certain antioxidants that might be in good quality wine that help? Yeah, but they still contain alcohol. Alcohol is pure poison for the body, and having any type of alcohol, right, is as bad as having any ultra, whether it's a Rustler's burger or like I say, Alpha Bites or Turkey Twizzlers. alcohol is pure. You're putting pure poison into your body. I drink alcohol, right? But I don't sit there slagging off Alpha Bites or Turkey Twizzlers. I see them for what they are, right? You're a beige tea, right? If you want that once a week, have it. We used to do that at me, Rach, actually. I loved it. We called it a school tea or a kid's tea. Like, and it's brilliant. Fish fingers, chips and beans. Love it. Absolutely love it. You have that once a week, right? And you have that once a week and a takeaway once a week. And then the rest of your meals contain fruits and veggies and all that. Absolutely fine. Right? And if I have a beige tea, I'll tend to make my own. The only part that, it will be fish fingers, or it might be chicken Twizzlers or whatever they're called from Bird's Eye, or grilled steaks or whatever they're flipping called. I'll tend to do my own air fried chips, and I'll tend to have beans with them. And I'll actually make it fairly nutrient dense. Right? You can make your beige tea fairly nutrient dense. You know what I mean? Right? Right, let me scan down and see what I miss. Broccoli never naturally existed in the wild. It's cultivation. Yeah, I assume there's loads of foods like. There's loads of foods like that, isn't there? There's always, But when you say it's never naturally existed, it's like you might have mixed one strand with another strand. I get that, but it's still a natural food. It's still something that's grown from the ground up. It's a bit like having, you can get grapes nowadays that taste of strawberry or pineapple, right? It's like that's just clever science, isn't it? Taking a strand of a strawberry plant and dinging it. And again, people go, it's genetically modified. It's still a grape. It's still grown from the ground. It's still high in fiber or, has lots of vitamins and minerals in it. So, yeah, and there'll be loads of veggies like that. It's things like carrots. Carrots aren't orange. They were made orange to be more palatable. Carrot's original colour is purple or yellow or something like that. So, they've been cultivated to look orange. It's like sprouts. Everyone years ago was sprouts. I was always a bit like that with sprouts. But over the years, they've made them taste a lot nicer. It's just clever. It's just science, I suppose, isn't it? But I get what you mean. But yeah, there'll be loads of vegetables out there if we went back in time 5 million years to the dino, 10 million years or whatever, or prehistoric time, yeah, there wouldn't have been I assume there wouldn't have been loads of broccoli and asparagus and probably cauliflowers, and I assume there was a lot of all these veggies knocking about. They've just sort of cultivated over time, I assume. I'm not an expert on the origins of vegetables. I just buy them, eat them, cook them, and if they're good for you, they're good for you. Made my own chicken and veg slow cooked soup yesterday. Was lovely with sourdough. Sounds absolutely sensational. Love stuff like that. Absolutely love it. Right, let me scan up and see if I missed anything. Victoria on YouTube. Hi, Monday AM, brain not awake. Silly question. How do we access your podcast, please? So my podcasts are on YouTube, right? So I can't actually show you guys, but if you go over to, I can show you guys on TikTok, right? I can't show you guys on Facebook. You're like, why is Neil just pointing his phone? You can't see this. Well, actually, I can show you guys. Let me show you very, very, very shortly. Anyway, so this is my YouTube channel, right? I'm actually in my channel now, so this is my actual YouTube studio. But there are playlists. If you go to my playlist on my YouTube channel, my podcast is in here. So you got the RLB podcast, my weekly weight loss vlog. We've got my worth the calories videos. We've got my recipe videos here. There's 21 recipes on there now. And remember, guys, with all my recipes that I put, why is that on there? Remove. There's 20 recipes. Oh, I think I posted that the other day. My latest recipe is, I never know where this is in order. I think when you're on thing, you can actually do it in date added. But where's my latest recipe is this one, make my weight loss dinner with me. And if you click on that, if you go into the description here, the link to track it on NutriCheck is, where is it? Is there. So all my dishes, there's full ingredients list. So obviously the method is in the video. So watch the video, I'll show you how to make it. Full ingredients list there, and then the link to track all my recipes on NutriCheck is in the description. So there's 20 recipes on there. I add one a week, so this time next year there'll be 70 recipes on there. Lots of recipes. They are free at the moment. I might in time, and please don't hold this against me, but I dedicate a lot of time to my social media. I can set up a membership system on on face on YouTube. And don't get me wrong, all new recipes will be accessible to everybody. But I might add a membership system into YouTube, which will be free if you are in my community. So you'll never need to pay for those recipes. But if you just follow me for free on social media, because I might ask for a little, £1 a month, £2 a month if you want to access certain parts. I don't know yet whether I will. I'll just see how it goes. But like I say, we all need to get paid for work. Right, I'm trying to show you, for you guys on Facebook, I've got my iPad here, so I should be able to show you on here. Right, let me get YouTube up, and let me find me. I don't know if I'm in. I am in. Right, view your channel. Right, so this is my YouTube. I don't know if you can see it, actually. Yeah, you can see it. It's a bit bright, as you can see, I'm live there. And basically, again, if you go onto my channel, you can't really see it. It's not great, is it? It's sort of reflecting off. But if you can see, I've clicked on myself. That's really weird. Can't really show you. But anyway, if you go on there, there's a thing that says playlists. Right, I know it's in reverse. It's just next to it, and there's podcasts as well. So you can click on that. You can also, my podcast, if you don't want to watch it on YouTube, it is available through Spotify, Apple Music. It's the Real Lost Boss podcast. Just search for it. So it's available. So if you want to listen to it in your car through your Spotify, through your Apple CarPlay, so it's available on every platform. It's available on every platform. Now, if you head to my Linktree, right, my Linktree has a link to my podcast, and it has a link to everything. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, on every platform is my podcast. And if you can watch it through YouTube, watch it through YouTube because that's monetized. But if you can't, watch it on any platform you want, right? As long as it helps you out, yeah? Right, let me scan down. Just wondering when I will receive my progress sheet. So all progress sheets are sent out Monday or Tuesday. So when you come on plan with me, you get an updated progress sheet every even check-in. So check-in 2, check-in 4, check-in 6, check-in 8. And we aim to get them out Monday afternoon tea time-ish, but just depends what's going on. It can be Tuesday tea time. Everyone will have them by Tuesday tea time. And we will aim to get them out today, but there's 39 to send out this week. 39 of you on even check-ins. So I'll make sure, Stefan, you are in there. You are in there. Your plan code is in there, and you are number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You are number 16. Stefan, you'll be the 16th progress sheet that will be sent out this morning. So yeah, they'll all be sent out to hopefully by tea time today. But it can get into a Tuesday. It just depends how manic Monday is. Mondays can be manic because obviously after the weekend. But yeah, you'll get them over the next couple of days, guys. It'll just come to your email. All right, so it'll just ping over to your email. So just keep checking your email. Right, let me scan down, see what I've missed, see if I have missed anything at all. Carrots made my knees bounce off the walls. Yeah, and again, that's the thing. It's great. Like I say, people always blaming numbers, and again, it's kind of like it's a bit Chinese. This happens, and it could be anything. It could be sugar. It could just be the fact of the way people react to certain flavorings. It could be, it could be those things. Like I say. Carrot, all different foods can make people react in different ways, if that makes sense. I also need to point out as well with numbers, it's not the 80s anymore. There used to be a lot of artificial stuff. There used to be loads, and now there doesn't need to be because as science has improved, I would say nowadays 90% of like preservatives, stabilizers, emulsifiers are all natural, and that's just a massive increase in science and technology and looking at food. The quality of food in this day and age is so much better than like the 80s and the 90s. and it's just time. You know, you look at, I mean, like how good nowadays is frozen food. Um, Rachel always sends me these nostalgic adverts. I absolutely love them. I absolutely love nostalgia. There's been shows on the TV like the 1970s supermarket, the 1980s. I love it. I absolutely love it. Right? I'm a right geek for stuff like that. And she sent me a thing yesterday, and it was the old McCain's oven chips like advert from like probably the late 80s, early 90s, maybe. Does anyone remember oven chips from the 80s? They were they were absolute garbage. They were so bad. They weren't a treat. They weren't a treat, right? They were absolutely shocking. They were like cardboard. They had a weird taste to them. They had a weird texture. They were just awful. Nowadays, how amazing are like skin on fries that you put in the oven, sweet potato fries, McCain home fries, and the big ones when they're like chippy chips but done in the oven. You know, so food quality has just improved massively. Now, on the downside of that, like how good was Orange Lucozade 50? Like they have messed with certain things that didn't need to be messed with. Like Orange Lucozade 10, 15 years ago, Tizer, original Tizer, Iron Brew, original. I mean, I love an Iron Brew extract. It's one of my favourite sugar-free drinks. But original Iron Brew. I mean, you get that Iron Brew is in 1906 of when it first came, and it is just unbelievably good, isn't it? You know, it's probably caffeine. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if that's in carrots, but yeah, in certain drinks and stuff, you know, people are always like, yeah, all the E numbers, the caramel E numbers in Coke make my kids bounce off the wall. Well, if it's full fat Coke, it's sugar and caffeine. If it's Coke Zero, Diet Coke, it's caffeine. You're giving your kids 40 milligrams of caffeine. That is a stimulant. That is going to make them bounce off the walls for a good couple of hours. That's just the way it is, you know. What are your thoughts on carnivore diet? Carnivore diet is just an extreme fad diet. It's extreme. No one's asked about this for a bit, actually. It always goes through phases with diets. Everyone asks about the weight loss injections, then it's carnivore. The carnivore diet is an extreme fad diet. All right, it's not healthy. It's not sustainable. The only people that say it's healthy and sustainable are people that are promoting it. All right. If you follow anyone doing the carnivore diet that doesn't have a plan attached to their profile or doesn't have code selling carnivore crisps and all this, that, and the other, they will be quite honest about it. They'll tell you how tough it is, right? You know, I follow a guy actually, he's called Nearly Carnivore, and I quite like he's dead honest about it, and he's called like Nearly Carnivore, so like, because he does have some fruit, he does have some veggies, but he has a predominantly meaty diet, like high protein diet, and he's just actually had his bloods done, and his LDL's through the roof, and he's decided to incorporate, like reduce the oil. You know, he's going to start having more like olive oils and stuff. So he's kind of realised how unhealthy it is. But yeah, it's unsustainable. It's very unhealthy. There's no need to eat like that. People that eat like that lose weight. Well, I've lost loads of weight on the carnivore diet. Yeah, because you know, again, most people that promote carnivore, they eat it once a day. They eat once a day, so they lose weight because they're in a massive calorie deficit. You could eat. If I ate 2,000 calories of full fat meat and eggs cooked in butter in one sitting, I'd feel sick as a dog, right? Because of all that grease going through my system, right? But B, I'd eat 2,000 calories in a day. That would put me in a 1,500 calorie deficit. That would equate to 3 pounds of fat loss a week, right? Of course, I'm going to lose loads of weight, yeah. But it's just unhealthy, you know. Will my sugar-free Red Bull spike my insulin whenever? No, it's got the clues in the title there. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying. But again, this is where like people get. I mean, first of all, Haley, are you diabetic? Are you pre-diabetic, diabetic, gestational diabetes, or type 1? But no, if it's sugar-free, no. So why are you worried about it? So first of all, so nothing spikes your insulin, right? So whatever we eat, whether it's proteins, carbs, or fats, raises our blood sugars. Certain foods will raise our blood sugars more than others, right? So certain foods will raise our blood sugars more than others. Obviously, if we eat high refined carbs without any fiber or protein alongside, that will what we call spike our blood sugars, which means our blood sugars will go up. Whether our blood sugars, however high our blood sugars go up, the body releases insulin. So you don't spike insulin. It's a natural process. Insulin is just a hormone that allows your blood glucose to be transferred into your brain, into your liver, and into your skeletal muscle to be used as energy. Now, the only people that need to worry about spiking blood sugars, not raising blood sugars, spiking blood sugars, are people that have any form of diabetes. If you don't need to worry about it, right? A sugar-free Red Bull is sugar-free. So sugar in its pure form, which is generally a free sugar, an added sugar, is what is put in drinks. So if you have a full-fat Red Bull, full fat, I know it's not fat, it's just what we call it, it's just a colloquial term, right? Full fat can of Coke, that is free sugar, right? So it's a highly processed sugar added to that drink, and that will spike your blood sugars. Again, no issues, right? Do you want to be doing that all the time? Well, again, if you're metabolically healthy, there's no issues. You know, you look at a runner, they have these pure sugar gels every hour and a half while they're doing a marathon. So they're spiking their blood sugars like crazy, right? Very, very healthy people. So spiking your blood sugars does not make you unhealthy. What makes you unhealthy is if you have high levels of visceral fat. Yeah. So, Hayley, a sugar-free Red Bull won't spike your blood sugars because it's sugar-free. It has very minimal carbs in it. But if you're not diabetic, it is not something you need to worry about. Okay. Maybe just confused because of all the weight loss injections, insulin. I know, and this is it, and this is why this is why I keep trying to fight the good fight. Sometimes you feel like you're fighting a losing battle because you see all these dicks, and they are dicks on social media. I don't care. They can come. They'll never question. You'll never see anyone that promotes false information get into a debate with someone else because they know they're wrong. They're doing it for clicks and thingies. You know, what's his name? That was dead popular. He's dropped off now. You don't see him much anymore. But what was he called? Sort of boom 2003, beginning like Eddie Abu. Right? He used to come on quite a lot and you've got to control your insulin to do this. So many people have offered him to come to, he'll go to a podcast, but he'll go to a podcast when it's just him sat in a room, getting interviewed by people that don't know what they're talking about or just wanting to talk. So many people in the industry that are so clued up have challenged him to, not challenged him, but let's have a debate. Let's come in and let's talk about it. He won't do it with anybody because he knows he's talking nonsense, right? But unfortunately, this is what he doesn't understand, or he might understand. He's just trying to fill it, he just wants to brush his teeth. I've got 1 million followers. I've got 500 members in my gym. I've got this, that, and the other. I'm planning for my retirement. But he's doing that at the behest of someone like you, Hayley, who's then going, yeah, but this makes you fat. This does this. If I spike my insulin, I can't lose body fat. Well, insulin's present in the body. Garbage. Absolute bullshit. Right? It's just, that's all it is. It's nonsense. Right? And like I say, they won't have a debate with someone if they get called out. Come and have a chat with me about this. No, I'm not doing that because I know I'm wrong. But by being a bit controversial and being wrong, has got me all these followers. By having all these followers, people buy my plans, people come to my gym. TikTok pay me $5,000 a month in views. Right? That's my main aim from doing all this. It's not the fact that Hayley watches it and creates an unhealthy relationship with food from it and panics about having a sugar-free Red Bull. The worst thing in a sugar-free Red Bull is it's high in caffeine. Now, again, the devil is always in the dose. But if you constantly have a lot of caffeine going into your body, and don't get me wrong, you can build up a resistance to it. But caffeine, overconsumption of anything, is bad for us. And if you have too much caffeine, it can disrupt your sleep. It can if you're an anxious person, right? If anyone on this live now suffers quite badly with anxiety, please don't be smashing caffeine in left, right, and centre because you're just going to heighten it and make it worse and worse and worse. If you want to have a coffee in the morning, have a coffee in the morning. That's fine. I'm not telling you not to consume caffeine, but I see something like Rachel, my other half, suffers really badly with anxiety. I'm quite lucky I don't, right? But Rachel does. She goes through periods of it. And she has one energy drink, a small energy drink going to the gym now, and she might have the odd coffee here, and she might have 4 coffees. We've started buying caffeine-free Pepsi Max, and her anxiety is so much better because she's massively cut down on caffeine. When she used to work in an office, and everyone's, oh, having a coffee, her anxiety was through the roof. Right? So, yeah. And you will be confused because there's so much not in, and people, everyone's now, weight loss injected. You can't have caffeine, you can't eat carnivore diet, you can't eat carbohydrates, you can't eat fat, you can't eat fruit, that spikes your insulin. You might as well eating fruit's the same as having a full fat kind of. It's just bullshit. And it's heartbreaking because of how it affects people's mindsets. Should be regulated. It should be massively regulated. What's his name? Stephen Bartlett. I actually had an argument with someone, not an argument, but someone actually private messaged me on Instagram, and I actually ended up blocking them because they were actually someone I knew, local to me, and I thought I'll just take them out of the equation because I thought at first they were they were up for being a bit educated in a way. And I ended up blocking them. And I just messaged him and saying, look, I'm not going to comment anymore on this strand. And I'm just going to let you know, you're also getting very triggered by my content. So I'm just going to remove you from seeing my content and then hopefully you won't get triggered anymore. That was it. But they literally were like, you need to watch Stephen Bartlett's podcast. Some of the experts he has on there, that is the information. You should doctor this and doctor that. Stephen Bartlett, about 3 months ago, got fined ridiculous amounts of money for glamorizing and promoting false health information on his podcast. And it just so happens, since then, he's actually started having people that are coming on talking real thing. Will he get as many views? No, right? But he doesn't, I think he's had a slap on the wrist. And it doesn't matter how much money you've got in the bank, you get addicted sometimes to popularity. So you chase the number. It's like, oh, this is done. If I put content on like this, it gets 2 million views on my podcast. If I put content on like this, it gets 500,000. I'm chasing the 2 million views. Irrelevant of what damage that does to people's mindsets when it comes to health and weight loss. Mr. Harkins, good morning, mate. Hope you're all good. So it is, and I literally, and I'm not going to do the old "I told you so." I literally want to unblock that person and say, you were having a real go at me, saying I should be following all these experts on Stephen Bartlett's podcast and educating myself to give better information out of my content. Well, read this. Now, what are your views on it? But anyway, there you go. I wouldn't do that. I'm not that petty. I've cut out any fizzy drinks for months. Best thing ever. Why? 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 What do you feel? It's done. And is that all you've cut out? Because a lot of people do this. I had someone come on and they went, "I've not eaten this, or I've not eaten," and I'm like, "I'm not eating sugar for 6 months, and it's the best thing I've done." And I'm like, right, is that because you've not eaten sugar for 6 months, or because you've not eaten loads of trans fats in biscuits, cakes, pie? Well, maybe not pies because there's not a lot of sugar in pies, but cakes, donuts, biscuits, things like this. Is it? I can't remember what it's called. I think it's not a fallacy. Is it a fallacy? I think it is a fallacy. I think that's the terminology for it. Basically, we cut out something. And we might cut out several things, and we just associate it with that one thing. Does that kind of make sense? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying for certain people, oh God, look at the time, it's absolutely disappeared this one, I've got to go. I'm not saying certain people, might react to something that's in a fizzy drink. It's very rare. It is very rare. A lot of people that have I get, again, I'm not trying to trigger people when I say this, because I do understand there are people out there that get, But I cook a lot with MSG, and I put it a lot in my recipes, and I put it, and the slander you get from it. And I'm just like, MSG is a natural thing that's extracted from different foods. And any and the amount of people that say, if I've got mates that do it, like, oh, don't go to that Chinese because they put way too much MSG in, and any MSG just gives me a migraine. And then next thing, they're eating tomatoes and cheese and this, and I'm like, tomatoes and cheese are absolutely full of MSG. Like, it's like there's loads of food products out there that have got loads of MSG in them, and I'm just like, but it's just that, but it's because you hear it from one person, right? And why MSG? Why the slander came about with MSG is actually from when Chinese immigrants first moved over to the UK, 60s, 70s, and Chinese takeaways became very popular. You know, a lot of people looked in any way they could because people were, again, I'm not tarring everyone with the same brush, but racism was a lot worse back in the 70s. I'm not saying it's not great now, but it was a lot worse back in the 70s. And people look for any way to tarnish a business or a race to try and devalue them or ruin them, or for whatever reason, because they don't want them in their country, which is just absolutely ridiculous in the UK. We've conquered everywhere. Imagine living in a country that is basically like Australia, India, Hong Kong, you know, at some point in time, like, took over all these places, right? And then everyone's kicking off now. We're, oh, you're not allowed in Spain, you're not allowed. It's just so hypocritical. Anyway, that's it. Don't mention politics or anything that will upset someone. Anyway, but yeah, that's where MSG came out. That it's really bad for us and really healthy for us people, because it was a common thing. It's been used in Oriental Asian cooking since the late 1900s, early 1900s, like 1901, 02. Popular element, and it was like, MSG is really bad, and you know, it's that kind of slander against Chinese cooking, basically. It's like it's a racist thing. It's a racist thing. MSG is absolutely fine. Now, don't get me wrong. Are there people out there where having some MSG might cause them an issue? Absolutely, there is. Are there people out there where having a bit of sugar might cause them an issue, or having, you know, a different? Of course, everyone can react slightly differently to different foods, but on a whole, most of the people that say that it doesn't cause them any issues at all. Anyway, right, guys, I've got to go. I've got to go and set up a load of protein boxes. So if you've ordered a protein box, guys, there's only like 4 left, by the way. I didn't think there was I don't know if a few of you guys have jumped on and ordered them. Let me have a look. There is literally 4 protein boxes left. So if you guys want a protein box, if you've not subscribed or you've not bought one yet, go and subscribe now. There are 4 left. You guys that won the quiz at Christmas, you're getting one sent to you this week with all the other prizes that I did. So I just thought I'll package them all up. I was just a bit lazy in January getting them out. I thought, you know what, when they're getting the free protein box, I'll just put everything. So Julie, if you're on the live now, I think you came on earlier. You're going to get all your Christmas, a little February bundle, as it were. So I'm going to get them sent over to you. So you guys don't need to subscribe. Yes, if you want a protein box, go and buy one. TikTok profile, click on my link tree. If you want to come join the one-to-one plan, if you want to come on the community, everything's in there. There's an inquiry form. If you want me to be your weight loss coach, please drop over the inquiry form, touch base with me. Right, I've got to go. You lovely people on TikTok, I will see you at 8 p.m. This evening. I'll see you guys as well. I'm just signing off to TikTok first. So I'm back at 8 p.m. this evening. Have a wonderful Monday. It's a new weight loss week. New set calories in the bank. Steps to 0. Get at it. Hope you have a great day. You can tell me all about it in literally like 10 hours time. So TikTok, have a great day. And then you lovely people here over on YouTube and Facebook, I'm off as well. I will be back for you guys as well at 8 p.m. tonight. So hopefully I will see you all.